Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Jibril Diallo. I am President and CEO of an organization called the African Renaissance and Diaspora Network, based in New York. And I spent 38 years of my life working for the United Nations, having been recruited by the late Kofi Annan at the age of 27. At the United Nations and in our African traditions, we want to connect with you mentally, emotionally, and physically to do with this important event. So we have our representatives here, the permanent representatives of Kenya to the United Nations, and the permanent representative of Benin to the United Nations. So with the permission of the two ambassadors, I'd like respectfully to ask you to stand up, please. And we're going to observe a moment of reflection on the major theme of this encounter, of this dialogue, which is really how do we, as a network, in this room and outside this room, can try to deal with the challenges facing African wildlife conservation in the continent of Africa. So with that, we're going to have a moment of reflection, please. Thank you. You may be seated. It is now my pleasure to, by way of opening statements and welcoming remarks, it's my pleasure to call His Excellency Lazarus O. Amayo, Ambassador and Permanent Representative of the Republic of Kenya to the United Nations, to take the floor.
Thank you very much, Dr. Diallo, for giving me the floor, and the African Symposium for extending the invitation for me to join you this afternoon in what I consider to be a very important forum. I'm pleased to be here with you to celebrate Wildlife Day under the Global 2020 theme of sustaining all life on Earth. Since its establishment in 2013, this forum has provided a platform for the international community to celebrate and raise awareness on the world's wildlife and animals. Today, our continent also celebrates the Wangari Maathai Day, which is observed in conjunction with African Environmental Day as designated by the African Union. As many of you would recall, Professor Wangari Maathai was a renowned Kenyan environmentalist, an activist, and the first African woman and environmentalist to win the Nobel Peace Prize. Her efforts to link peace, sustainable development, and democracy received universal acclamation. She was a true demonstration of the importance of community engagement for environmental protection, sustainable development, and peace. Ladies and gentlemen, while this day is important for celebration and awareness creation or raising, it is also an important reminder that there is urgent need to step up efforts of wildlife conservation at all levels. From local communities to national governments, from regional organizations to international organizations, everyone needs to play their part towards protecting, restoring, and promoting the sustainable management of wildlife resources globally. Today, Africa faces numerous environmental challenges which continue to be exacerbated by the loss of biodiversity, climate change and desertification, multiple social, economic, and environmental factors which continue to endanger wildlife. We talk of issues of habitat destruction or degradation, fragmentation, overexploitation, poaching, pollution, and the list would be long if I was to continue. But since I'm speaking to those who are already singing in the choir, I don't need to repeat some of the issues, but they are real. The reduced quality and expanse of habitats, the poaching and illicit wildlife trafficking and trade are issues that are important to us at the moment. For Kenya, wildlife is not only an essential part of our national heritage, but it is also of great socioeconomic value for our people. For these reasons, the government prioritizes the sustainable management of wildlife resources for future generations to enjoy. Furthermore, we recognize that the vital role that all stakeholders need to play, particularly local communities, in the environmental management and sustainable utilization of natural resources. In this regard, the government of Kenya has called for immediate and long-term changes in practice, management, and perception towards wildlife and its conservation. Kenya has encouraged non-consumptive utilization of wildlife for economic growth, and that is why you don't find us even accepting game hunting. Would like you to watch the elephants and the lions and the likes, but not to kill them as trophy. Our constitution and our own laws on wildlife conservation encourage and facilitate the formation of wildlife conservancies owned by communities and individual landowners. These have enabled growth in ecotourism and further increased land area under wildlife conservation. This is a partnership that we encourage. It's not just in the public domain that you have governments to maintain or conserve national parks or game reserves, but we recognize the role that communities and individuals can be able to play, and that is why conservancies are creating positive impact in the overall agenda of wildlife conservation. Then we also recognize that empowerment and engagement of women and youth has been critical to Kenya's conservation efforts as we continue to maintain mainstream gender and youth perspectives into local and national policies and plans around environmental and wildlife conservation and preservation. As I said, the list will go longer, but let me conclude by demonstrating to you our commitment. I think some of you might have seen, I think the last one was in 2016, when over 100 tons of ivory and 1.3 tons of rhino horns were destroyed as a decision that the executive, President Kenyatta, took to demonstrate our commitment towards conservation. We don't believe in selling the ivory or rhino horns, because by selling them, we are encouraging others to look for them. But that was not the first one. Actually, late President Moi, former President Mwai Kibaki, and current President Kenyatta have all demonstrated this commitment by having ivory that have been caught, being smuggled, or as a result of poachers killing our animals, have been destroyed so that their commercial value does not encourage others to go into the same direction. And so I wish you, Dr. Diallo and the organizers, the best this afternoon as you reflect on efforts towards conservation, which is important not only for this generation, but even generations to come. Some of us who are relatively much older would appreciate some of the animals or even plants that used to be so vibrant, so common, receding and rarely seen in the habitat in which we and our parents and grandparents used to see them. I wish you the best and God bless you.
Thank you.